Sup, name's Rack, I'm a coach. This particular video focuses very heavily on things like Reinhardt's hammer hitbox, high ground control, and other bits of tech that help the average Reinhardt player do much more with the character. As long as everyone else believes that Reinhardt only does basic swinging tech and shielding people, that's the best thing to your advantage because there are a few other great things that you can gain from this character. Hope you all enjoy. That was 2 explosions and a spear. You should be right to use that. Because you're kind of just firing off these fire strikes at nothing. That's well done. I'm surprised you didn't react to that, which is funny as hell. I stop, swing out to, okay. Quick thing you want to try and learn, right? At your widest, this is a good play because she doesn't react at all, so well done. If you get purple, this is a good hit with your fire strike, right? But here's the thing. She's just out of range of your swing normally, right? Now, if you're unsure of that, right? If you're unsure, always try to turn off the shoulder, right? Like I always call it the off the shoulder like swing, because the idea is that you swing off to the side and your wide radius like should be able to cover everyone when you're swinging, right? So you're not trying to swing in front of you, you're trying to swing like off to the side of you, right? And that side hitbox usually, with a little bit of finagling, can get you some good. If you're that unsure about hitting it, right, the first and foremost thing you should have done, because even despite her panic, right, at that range, you can see she's trying to run away from you, right? You should have fire struck. Because it's a guaranteed kill if she actually throws the translocator, you'd still hit her in that doorway no matter what. If she goes off to the side, she's cut off from everyone else, and you've already got a kill. You've already got the kills to make up for it, right? So worst comes to worst, you can deal with whoever. So chasing her all this time only makes it worse. Now the good news is that it doesn't particularly matter. Oh, never mind, it does now because she killed old mate. Oh, this is bad now. Oh God, she actually lived through that. Good God.
So, back to the previous tech you were talking about. I learned about that when I was on console. But what I've also heard is that if you just shake your mouse a lot, it kind of works the same. Is that true?
It sort of does, but okay, so here's the funny thing about it. And I go into depth with it in TLPs, but I'll give you the short version, right? The idea of hang on, I need you to make a swing. All right, so when you swing, right, I want you to try to imagine, because obviously this is a rounded hammer, right? But the hitbox looks like this, sort of. With my really great drawing skills, ignore this on the side. But yeah, with my perfect drawing skills, you can see that everything is made up of hitboxes, right? Those hitboxes are quite wide, is the best way to put it. They're pretty wide off the base of what this hammer represents, right? Which means that if you are doing the shake or doing other sort of ways of doing so. So what used to be the case as well, which I'll tell you in a sec. But yeah, there are a few other things that you could do to make this thing as janky as possible. But the big thing is that what you want to do is you want to try to extend this hitbox across its way by just about this much. And you do that by either shaking the mouse so that it just keeps representing that there is another box there. Because with your ping, in favor of the shooter and all this crap that I'm not going to go too deep into because we only have an hour, but the idea is that the hitbox check will still exist twice over while you're pinging to the enemy's location, with your swing, so to speak. And if it checks at any point that there is an enemy hitbox there, it will still hit them no matter what, which is why a lot of people get randomly dragged by Reinhardt hits, especially if they're higher than 50 ping. Because if you're really low, my advantage is that I am really close to the server. I live relatively close to the server, right? So my ping generally in all games on O's is 3. When I make that swing, if I do it in advance and I do my shit, it will keep tracking over that course of time. Again, someone with 100 ping, if their hitbox was still there for that 1 second and my shit is still tracking in that spot, it's going to hit them, right? Which is why the shaking trick sort of works for that as well. What used to happen, and it used to be really, really bad, is players on 150 ping could do their swings in place and then do a 180 and swing off the back of that area, and it would actually create 2 hits in the one spot. which is why most players
Yeah,
were really
it's in
strong on
the
NA. It was really funny. And like you would just be able to swing and you get 2 hits off it. But what the problem is that because you're not actually getting that wide berth from what you're doing, right? You're just kind of just swinging in a straight line and just praying you chase someone else. You're not exactly shaking. Like when they say shaking, we're talking like all over the place, you know. You know, like like Kermit the Frog with a machine gun type of shit, like all over the place. You're just doing like these calm Bob Ross style swipes, and that's nice, but it's not what we're aiming for. We're aiming for full insanity on tilt, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the shit that like you're looking for with the hitbox. Now the fact that she wasted her ult despite this. Oh, 2 ults wasted despite this. Okay then. You know what? You fucking that up was actually good.
See, it was all calculated.
It was all part of the plan. All according to the plan. Oh, jeez. But yeah, what you want to believe is that if you do it like fast enough, they won't even have the ult the next time around, right? Which isn't the worst thing in the world to worry about, but it's the one thing that you have to be cautious of. So I like that we've taken forward position here. I don't like that we haven't taken upstairs already. Come on, get up there, get up there, get up! See, this is why I wanted you to get up. Never mind. Just get away from the Bob. It's fine. Everything's fine. This Bob was sent in the stupidest spot imaginable. But then, yeah, this is the one thing I wanted to avoid is this problem. All right, so the whole reason I'm telling you have to get the high ground, right? And I'm like, sounds really awkward when you're talking about it to Reinhardt, but I'm going to do this from a wide shot. So you can see your silhouette down there, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I want you to watch your silhouette, and I want you to watch the Winston and his silhouette. Because you're taking all this time to get up the stairs, right? Look at Winston. Look at you. Bob goes down. There is already people contesting the point, and you're not on high ground already. If you were already there and you were already like causing a ruckus up there, you could have seen exactly where he was going, and you could have just charged straight off the high ground at full speed, because who was going to stop you? Nobody. And the best part is you could have actually made that point for yourself, and this wouldn't have been a problem for you at all, right? When I say you have to get the high ground immediately, you had the right idea, right? You're like, yep, I'm going to get up, I'm going to get forward position. But forward position on Icon World means you have to stop them for being able to fuck with your first part of the push off of this area. So when you're still stuck here, you have to be able to take this back, right? And because you had the advantage, because you took the point and they wasted ults, that's what you need to be able to do, right? Because if you do that, that means that it's impossible for them to actually make this play unless they have to go through you. Which, if they just end up charging or diving onto the point from the opposite side, you would just immediately just cut them off from here. And if you hit the charge perfectly, it means that Winston can't escape. Right? And because what would happen is you would essentially charge into him, put him in the wall, and then you would be able to ulti on top of him just to make sure that he dies. Because there would be no reason for you to not have to use this at the moment, because it will grant you enough leniency and time to kill both Winston and possibly Sombra? Possibly. Because Ash would still be dead. And no one would be able to contest from high. And the rest of you would be able to go up and make that point. Because what you want to try and do, and this is the main thing you have to remember, is there's... I don't know if you've heard about much in fighting games, but they call... like in Tekken, they call it Big Tekken and Small Tekken. Big Tekken is like the idea that the idea is that you get like the big launch and it does a whole bunch of damage and it looks sexy and all that, right? But then there's Small Tekken. Small Tekken's the stuff that like a lot of people like really believe is the fundamental shit, which is the spacing, the little pokes, right?
Yeah.
If we translate that to big Overwatch, right? Everyone thinks that like hitting those gigantic ultis is what actually makes the wins. It's fucking not even close. It's the little picks that cause you to be able to get the payload into positions where when you win a fight, it will just finish the point for free. Right? What you want to do is break this down into sections. You need to get past this section by taking this high ground. Once you have this high ground, it makes it impossible for them to come out and take it back off you, so you can win this point.
So let's say my Zen was just like AFK on cart and he didn't kill the Ash. Should I like go after the Ash or should I still pin back to the cart?
You are okay. So the main thing you had to have done. Let's go back, right? Let's take this in a universe where we believe that the money is ours, right? when you come in, you do your thing to drive them off that area, and then you immediately come to high ground with everyone else, right?
Yeah.
That's still going to push through. Juno has the ability to make that movement, which is fine for Juno, because Juno can go up and there'd be no problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your move is to essentially just peel out from that area no matter what happens. So you want to prevent any chance of, well, even like then, it might even cause Ashe to like ult differently, but even then, it's not one of those things that you can actually have. If you've moved up in advance, Ashe would be there alone. You probably drive her off the high ground or kill her without her worrying about ult, which means you don't lose that health either, right?
Yeah.
So then you have this pick advantage, and there's a lot of like, what could happen talk going on here, but the idea is that like if you're covering these areas, then if Winston just dives in on his own, even with him and Sombra would have to immediately peel out because you're just going to cover this whole area with swing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all you have to care about, nothing else.
Okay.
If your job is to either be in the enemy's backline and raise hell, or be in your own backline and make it impossible for them to get on it, right?
Yeah.
Because you're basically just a big tornado with a hammer, right? That's what you're trying to be. You take up a lot of space, and you've got to be able to work that to your advantage. If none of that occurs, then you immediately just lose out, right? And that's what makes this go wrong.
Yeah.